Ferry commuters have now maintained orderliness as the authorities continue to enforce the social distancing rule aboard the vessels. The police brutality meted on commuters and even journalists sparked an outrage that has now forced leaders to intervene in a bid to find a lasting solution for the commuters to beat the 7 p.m. curfew. And we have leaders from the Mombasa County also giving a press briefing right this moment. Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho is currently speaking. Let's listen in.
We also appreciate the challenges our people are facing. That is why some of us believe strongly at some point, when we are ready, we should call for a total shutdown in more vulnerable areas. But obviously that requires deeper consultation, deeper planning, over which is on the table and we are discussing. What brings us here today is, first of all, to say what happened yesterday was unnecessary and try to bring back order. So we are asking both the Mwananchi and the security agencies and ourselves to remember that we are under a health curfew, and therefore to be able to succeed in this important purpose is to observe those guidelines. So we have consulted this morning and we have agreed that from effective immediately, ferry services shall operate in this manner. Number one, the focus will be pedestrians, mwananchi wa kutembea na mguu for the time being. So magari will be restricted. Tunasema magari yataanza kuvukishwa kuanzia saa 5 asubuhi mpaka saa 8 mchana pekee, so that asubuhi mpaka saa 5 inavusha tu wananchi, na in demarcated areas or areas where we are marked for them to be able to stand for the time being. Magari yatavuka kuanzia saa 8 mpaka saa 9, and then we close vehicles movement on the ferry. Tubaki tu kuvukisha wananchi. Pili, I want to urge the employers in our region, they must understand also, in fact we shouldn't urge, we should tell them as government, they need to adhere to this. Kwamba sahihi tuko katika msururu wa mtihani mgumu. So wakubaliane na sisi kwamba even if your employee has to work over lunch, so be it. Lakini by 3 o'clock, watu watoke makazini, waanze kwenda majumbani ili to be able to meet the regulations that have been put in place for us to achieve this curfew. You all must remember, hili janga sio unique kwetu. Janga hili limeanza dunia mzima, na sisi tunaangalia matendo ya dunia ingine ama cities zingine katika dunia, ni gani yanafanyika vizuri ndio sisi tufanye, ili tuweze kuepuka to be in a situation where the doctors or the clinicians are forced to make a choice on who lives and who dies. So for the pedestrians, nataka niwaambie, please let us observe the guidelines tukati tumepewa. We are here to ensure that you are safe. We are here to ensure that you remain healthy, even though we also appreciate there are certain challenges that we have to deal with. Vile kwa polisi, we have discussed and even told them there is no point to use so much force. Lakini mwananchi naye afate. There is no point where a country is under a curfew on matters health that canisters, tear gas canisters have to be thrown. There's really no reason as to have a situation where Wainaina there was being wekwa drungu for no reason. Because these guys on the other side will help us to highlight the real issues on the ground. And I am sure my brother Rashid has taken note. He has instructed his people to be orderly, to be humane, to be respectful, to be able for us. Because unajua hii ugonjwa, hata mkishikana hivi sahi kutoke vurugu, mwingine katika mfurukano achemue akushike, na kama alikuwa nayo angekupatia tu. So for us, we are here to achieve those two important things today. We shall observe how operations will go on Monday, and then collectively we'll be able to make a decision. even though, like I said, even you as a mwananchi, you need to start preparing yourself in your mind that at some point we may ask you to stay at your house and don't leave. And then also we are saying as a government, we are consulting because we know that there are people who work on a daily basis for the daily wage. What are we going to be able to do for them? We are consulting. And I can tell you, we are making progress. So for the rest of us, let us be careful. Please observe the guidelines. Osha mkono wako. Kaa mbali 1 meter distance. You're not doing it for me. You're not doing it for me. You're doing it for yourself. That you must understand. You're doing it for your family. You're doing it for the people you love. You know? So please, when we tell you, observe these guidelines, it's for your own good. Even here, we've engaged, tumesema sisi wenyewe to observe the distancing because it is necessary at this point in our times. So please, tukubaliane hapo. Allow me to introduce, first of all, Mishi, for a minute to say 2 things. And then also, we're saying, for fresh produce market, we've consulted. We decongested Kongowea. We brought some outlet in Tononoka. We're now moving to Likoni. So tafadhali, even the wholesalers, we tell you, if you don't want to listen, we shall force you. You bring your produce to Likoni. We will waive for you the charges that will make it easy for you to go across. But then you sell the produce in Likoni so that we don't have people having to cross just to go to the market. So tukubaliane hapa, all the leaders were speaking in one voice. Civil society is here, Red Cross is here, Hussein Khalid and his team is here. We all are speaking in one voice that we want to be able to stand together to defeat this pandemic and be counted as a people. When the time called on us to be together, we did it. Tumekubaliana, eh? So very brief remarks from Mishi, very brief. Oh wait, let me do this and then we'll give you the politicians to conclude.